Okay, so welcome to Let's Talk, the England edition. So we're going to be talking about the recent England games for the World Cup qualifiers. I'm going to give a little review of that. We're going to talk also England under-21s, obviously how they got on, and we're going to give our thoughts on that. And then we're going to say who impressed, who didn't impress, and we're going to give a final evaluation of our 23-man squad and have a little debate on that. So we've got a special guest, Riccardo, in the house today. So Riccardo,
back again.
Going to debate Tammy Abraham with me at the end, and then Shaun, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, for England, 3 winnable games expected to win. They got the wins. Obviously, San Marino should really be a cricket score. I guess they've got the 5. Probably should be about 10. Comfortable. Albania expected to win. Did win. It took them long enough to get started, but eventually, their possession, they decided to get. They got clinical. I think that's the thing with England as well. Like, they've got a lot of possession and stuff, but eventually it's just like, you need to be more clinical. You need to do something with it, have a end product. But eventually they got there. And Poland, despite Stones' mistake, good recovery by him to set up the winning goal for Maguire. Good win that. Obviously things might have been different had Lewandowski been there. We'll never know, but it's a win nonetheless. And 2 clean sheets out of 3, can't complain. 9 points. They just need to keep it going. It might not be convincing, but might not be playing their best, but they're winning, and that's what you need sometimes. When you're not playing well. So yeah, that's my analysis on that.
Go on, Riccardo. What are you saying?
Well, I think. First of all, I think Gareth Southgate's not the right man for the job.
That's a great way to start.
I just don't. I think if they had someone like a young manager with young ideas, and he'll play the better team, because you don't need like 2 holding mids and stuff like that. And he's always had his favourite boys. Like when Henderson comes back, he'll be straight in there. Dyer, when he has one good game for Tottenham, he'll be back in there. So I don't understand. Like Trent should have been in there. Really, he deserved his place on the bench at least. Yeah, definitely. You can't just shut him out and everyone else, like who has a post things, gets back in as well. I think Trent deserved to go. It's not just him playing bad for Liverpool. It's like you can't just go off that. It's all the Liverpool players were playing bad, so that means all of them shouldn't have got called up for the squads if that's the case.
I don't think anybody went though.
But apart from that, I think I don't like when City players play for England anyway, because they get criticised, especially Sterling and Stones. I hate it. Stones has been immense all season. Does one bad thing and they say he's back to his normal self. Like, what can he do?
But you know what the British media's like. You know what I mean. You do. Rob Green's still getting it for what he did against the USA in the World Cup.
England have been here before though. Like they win the qualifier, they win 10 games in a row. You think, yeah, we've got a chance. We're going to tournaments. Play a team who you expect to beat, like Croatia. No disrespect to them, but they were leggy. The old age, and England should have won that. And got 1-0 up, just sat back, and just didn't push on for another one and got punished. And I just think that mentality is wrong. Like when you get one against some teams, you got to be ruthless and punish them. Like Pep, for example, for City in the Premier League, they just ruthless if they want 3, 4, 5. Klopp's the same as well. So that's why I think England need a manager like that, who's ruthless enough to go for more and not sit back and be boring. When they got the players like that, you can hurt anyone. England on paper should be winning World Cup and Euros after every 2 to 4 years. How long they're on. I can't see why this team can't compete with like France, Spain, Germany and all that, because on paper it's one of the best. Or is it the foreign players making these players look good?
I mean, just with that comment there, like I was thinking about this the other day. I don't think there's that many good teams like in the Euros this year anyway. Like if you actually look at it, like Germany got a bit of a Macedonian the other night. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think there is that many good teams. Like you probably say France is the best team, but how many world-class players do they have? Mbappe, obviously. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Are they that good? I don't think they are.
No, not really. But like they got the experience there. Like They've just won the World Cup and stuff, and so they've got the hunger there maybe to kick on. And they've got the players who played in finals. I think when England get to like semis or quarters, they get a bit nervous. Like you can see, like they play good, but then they don't kick on. Like I go back to the game against Croatia. That should have been England's game. That when Trippier scored the free kick, it was there for the taking. Croatia leggy, the old, and England didn't take it. For me, that's a team who's scared to looks like they win things. It's like the in the mentality block. So they need someone who can overcome that block. That's why I think they need another manager who can do that. Someone young and ruthless who can get them over the line.
But can I ask you a quick question, though? Can I just ask you a quick question? But do you think the way the media is over here, do you think that has an effect as well? Because you know what it's like. Because I feel like it doesn't help. It's way too much pressure as well.
That's why all these young ones go abroad, because it's less pressure. They all go to Germany and stuff, and these Bellinghams and that. Because the media do kick you down. When you're good, they're good. But when you do one thing, they keep you down and down. And it is bad over here for the media side. And the pressure, what they do get off the media doesn't help as well. I agree with
that. Just really comment about, I totally get what you say with his boys, and that's the thing and I get the thing with Trent as well, because it's like with like Eric Dyer, he's not been playing well for Spurs. Like he's not been playing well at all, but he's still gone. Like, do you know what I mean? So that you can't say that about Trent, Trent's not been playing well, but Dyer's not been playing well either, and he's gone. And it's like, that's the problem with Southgate, is he's got his boys, his Dyer, his Henderson's, Lingard's a bit of his boy as well. I know Lingard's on form at the moment, but he is a bit of his boy. I do get that. And just on the games as well, I thought England were too defensive, and I agree with you with that. I thought two holding midfielders when you're playing like San Marino and Albania, I just didn't work for me. And obviously, as a Leeds fan, Calvin Phillips, where he's playing, for me it didn't work at all, because he was playing as like a free-man role where he was chasing the ball and stuff like that. But for Leeds, he sits, and that's what he does really well. He sits in the middle, goes back into the back three and helps the defensive needs, or he just sits in the middle of the midfield and sprays balls about. Him running about, I didn't see the point of it. And I thought if you had someone more attacking, like a Ward-Prowse, a Lingard, or something like that, you'd created more chances from it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you there. Like, because he plays for Leeds, no disrespect for your team, but he'll get used as like a scapegoat because he's not playing for like one of the top fours. I think he's running around like headless chicken and all that. But it was someone from the top four, someone doing that, he won't get it as much. But because he plays for like Leeds, like who've just come back up, then players get used as a scapegoat basically. Not fair, but like you said, he's not playing him in his position where he plays for his club. Imagine him coming into international level, and you just like your head in the stars. Like, what am I doing here? Like, he don't know. He don't have a clue what he's doing. He hadn't trained with him for how long? How long was it together for? 10 days.
Yeah, 10 days.
That's not enough to know the person and stuff, is it? Really? So, but I don't like how he plays two defensive mids. You don't need that.
Either. No,
it doesn't.
Especially when you play Albania and San Marino. It's like you're going to beat these, but you're going to beat these teams anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's
Thank you.
We've got Andorra as well. Like, you're going to beat these teams. Like, they're not. Do you know what I mean?
Like I've always said, the best thing you can do is play three at the back, and then you got that extra attacker then.
Yeah.
Because when you play four at the back, you're losing one against them teams. Play three at the back. Play maybe Maguire, Stones, and Walker. Someone who's actually played in a free for the clubs and know how to play that position. And then have your wing backs, and you can have that extra midfielder. But when you got four and two defensive mids against them teams, it's not going to look well.
I thought that against Poland as well, though. I didn't think we played that well against Poland. And people are saying that Poland are a good team, but they didn't have one of the best players in the world in the team. You take Harry Kane out of England, and we struggle. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't think they played that well against Poland, to be honest.
No, I thought that myself. Like, are Poland a good team though? Like, really?
They're half decent. They're half decent. Like they'll give you they're one of those teams, like they've got some odd quality player, but then the rest of the team might be bang average. But so they'll give you a decent game. You know what I mean? So, but you know the crazy thing is, right? It's not just England which had like, it's obviously they beat Poland just about, but it's not just England that struggled. If you look at the results that happen around the world, in Europe, they're not the only one that struggled to beat teams. Like, even France drew against Ukraine. Greece,
and then Ukraine
went to Spain and got a draw.
Ukraine drew with Kazakhstan as well. I think Ukraine drew with Kazakhstan. Yeah, like,
I mean,
so, yeah,
there's crazy results happening.
That's what I mean about, like, there's not that many good teams. I don't think this year. I think there's a lot of poor teams.
I think it's dead open, innit, the Euros this
year. Yeah, 100%.
Whoever fancies it, it's theirs for the taking.
But I think it also comes down to fitness, though. I think fitness is going to be a good one, and rotating your squad well, because you've got to think, obviously, a lot of these players are going to be absolutely knackered by the end of the season. So you're really gonna depends on who has the biggest and better squads and rotates the team is gonna do it, I think. But that is why I look at France, for example. France actually have a good squad. I've got good players in every position, at least almost double. So it's a weird, you know what I mean? England have got a very good squad, but the problem is they've not got like two like top players for every single position. Obviously, that's hard to happen in most teams, but that's the thing. In certain positions, we've got
I think they've got certain positions that overloaded with players where you're going to have to actually drop some good players because there's so many good players. But then you've got loads of positions where you're really scraping the barrel for like the decent players. Do you know what I mean?
Tell you what the big issue for me is the goalkeeping issue.
Yeah.
I just don't think, like, does he want one who plays at the back? Because if he does, he can't play Pope because he gives Stones like a suicide ball. Does he want one what just kicks it? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the style? Yeah. What does he want? Because I know it's Stones' fault, but that ball what he gives Stones, that was
terrible.
That's true, but Stones should just give it bin back.
Yeah, that comes another part as well. But like I said, they don't play with each other at club level. They've only had 10 days. They don't know each other. Like, they haven't trained fully. Do you know what I mean? That's an issue as well. That's why I said if he plays like a back three, play like Kyle Walker and Stones who know each other, and Maguire who's played in a back three as well. If you play like, remember when Italy won the World Cup in 2006? That back five was Juventus back five.
Yeah, they all knew each other.
Cellini, Bonucci, do you know what I mean? They all know, and that's why them teams are so good. Like, look at when Spain won the World Cup and the Euros. It was just Barcelona and Real Madrid players. They had one or two, and they just knew how to click and where to be and all that. And that gets an issue when you've got so many good players where they're not playing in the same team and all that, and they're all individual stars. I think in England, I've got too many individual stars, and not enough team players. That's what I think personally. I think some of them already think they've made it already.
That's a tricky one. But that's why, you see when you said about playing together, that's why I go back to what you said. You see about Phil Foden. That's why I think Foden and Sterling maybe should play together up front, seeing as they play with each other. I know they get rotated a lot with the team, but they have played together. So that for them at club level and bringing that to the international stage would work. And then you got Harry Kane, so you've got a top striker. So I think that potentially could work for England, really.
But to me personally, I won't play Sterling. I won't start Sterling. I don't think I think he's a bit overrated, me personally. I'm a City fan, but I don't think he's all about Sterling. If we could sell him to Real Madrid or something, I would, and get someone in, I would. Because I think at the top level, I don't think he's got it in his game to be consistent up there and be Europe elite. I don't see it.
I think on his day, I think he's world class, but like you say, it's not always his day. Do you know what I mean?
When's his day? Like, how many chances does he want to miss before he scores? And like, it frustrates me how he gets himself into positions and doesn't shoot, tries to walk the ball in the net too much and be clever. Just shoot it in. Like, if Sané stayed, I don't think Sterling will get in this squad. And that's truthfully. If Sané was still there, I would think Sané would start over Sterling and Foden would be on the right. I could not see Sterling starting in this first 11 the way he is if we still had Sané.
That's actually true. I just think Sané, the injuries just got to him, because that guy is absolutely, he's quality on his day. Like, But the only thing is, right, so if you look at England, obviously they play the front three. Apart from Kane, who would you play either side in terms of who could you trust to score more, like the most goals? Because we've got plenty of players that can play either side, but who's going to get the most goals? You'd probably say Sterling is one of them. And I think this is the problem, because I think he gets you plenty. He'd probably get you plenty of goals if Kane ain't scoring.
But what about Rashford and Sancho? Don't you think Rashford will get you more goals than Sterling? I think he's more direct and like.
Well, yeah, no, but those two probably would be but those two would probably be the main two who would score the most goals, either side of Harry Kane.
Mm. What do you reckon, Luke? Rashford or Sterling?
I don't know. For me, they're completely different players. I mean, I'd throw Jack Grealish in there for me.
Yeah.
I like Jack Grealish, and I think for creating chances, I think he's one at best, definitely at the moment. What
do you think of Sterling then, Luke? What do you reckon?
I think on his day, I think he's world class, and I think on his day he'll score you a hat trick. Like, do you know what I mean? And he's unbelievable. But like I said, it's very rare for him to have his day sometimes. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, some of the time when there's some of the penalty misses he's done. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, what are you doing? Like, I
know. It's just like, do you reckon he's like can go another level, or do you reckon that's it for him? Do you reckon this is his level?
I think we're all expecting him to. I think we're all expecting him to go to the next level. But I don't know. Like you say, I don't know if he will.
No, like, is it?
I don't know. Is he a world class player? I don't know.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I think he can. I think he shows. He definitely shows times of world class. But was it last season? He was just like, no, it was a couple of seasons ago for Manchester City. He was just banging in the goals.
The start of the season, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember that.
It was just phenomenal. But I still think he's world class.
Shaun, what do you define as world class, or like what do you say when you call a player world class? What do you say? Why is he world class?
It's a weird one, because you can say it from two different angles. You can see it as like, if you're world class, then if you're like a world 11, this player would probably start or be in the squad. It's a tricky one, you know. I don't know. Maybe a player that could probably get into any team, probably potentially class as world class.
What do you reckon, Luke? What do you reckon world class to you?
I don't know. I mean, I see De Bruyne's world class, and he's not De Bruyne. Do you know what I mean?
But De Bruyne would
be a world class is a player that can completely change a game on its head. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think Sterling can do that. Rooney wasn't consistent enough, but he could turn the game on his head. So I would say Rooney was world class.
I think world class to me is someone, like you said, Luke, spot on, who can change a game when the team's playing poor, or they've had a poor game themselves, but they just do a moment of brilliant or two to get that team dig out results. And that's what I think world class is, where you're consistent on a basic level. Yeah,
I feel Sterling gets a little bit, obviously, because he's in such a good City team, he can sometimes be, you win 4-0 and Sterling scores 2, you know, like, it's one of them where he's playing in a good team, that's why he's playing well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is, right, it's a weird one. Okay, I understand what you're saying about changing the game. But that also shouldn't just, obviously that doesn't just count for like attacking players, because you've got other players that are probably world class that never get mentioned, who are just like, you know, they just go about their business really, really well. But they might be like defensive midfielders or stuff like that, or other players like that, who just literally just go about their business, and then they might just never get mentioned. But some of them are actually world class.
I agree with that.
You know. But then I don't think Sterling's consistent. So
no.
I wasn't saying him. But I'm just saying, like,
yeah. I know what you mean. Like, I'd say like Diaz. I'd say like Diaz for City's like world class, because he's consistent every single game. He never puts a foot wrong. Do you know what I mean?
No.
But Sterling, I probably wouldn't say he was.
No, that's fair enough. But for me, he's got to start for England. He's if you're looking, like I said, in the front three, I'm not like Grealish. For me, he probably would start in the midfield, because if you're saying drop one of the defensive midfielders, that's just toss of a coin who you want to drop. But Mount would have to play, and then you might as well put Grealish in there, because Grealish will be probably a box-to-box midfielder and do all that silky work, which is brilliant. But then in the front three, you need players that are going to consistently probably going to score for you. And the front three that will consistently probably score for you would be Rashford, Kane, and Sterling. They will get the most goals out of all the players in the front three. I don't know what you guys think about that, but
it is a tricky one.
Goals are going to win the games at the end of the day.
No, but Kane scores your goals. I don't think you have to worry about goals. Kane will score goals. Kane will get the golden boot.
But you shouldn't just always rely on.
But it's chances.
I know
You need players to create chances, and Sterling, Sterling and Rashford can score, but are they going to create enough chances?
I think their goal ratio.
They've got the pace too.
I think Sterling scores like once every 6 shots or much less or poor. It's like his conversion rate is not class enough to be world class. It's like, because when he gets in them good positions, he panics a bit, but maybe a Grealish wouldn't panic as much. Not saying Grealish is better, but in them situations where you need a cool head and a calm head, I think Sterling has a rush of blood. I think Sterling's better when it's instinct and it's straight away. When he's got time to look up, that's when he starts messing about and taking all these touches. But like, if you look at most of his City's goals, they're just instincts. He just knows where to be, and they look like tap-ins. But they're actually good goals, what he's scoring, because using his brain and knowing where to go. Whereas I've seen him for City running one-on-one with the keeper, and he misses them because he's got too much time. And when Sterling's got too much time, and that's when things go wrong. And can he afford to do that in the big stage of the World Cup or the Euros? Was Gareth Southgate going to risk that again?
That's true. It's a tricky one.
Would you risk that knowing that Sterling doesn't convert when you know you've got Grealish there or Rashford who could maybe finish them what Sterling doesn't?
But I feel like I think I'd play him. For me, he's going to play. I just like the fact. I just like the fact that as much as he does score goals, he's got the pace to run in behind. Like, because Kane, the thing about Kane, as much as he does, Kane might not scores goals. Kane can also assist. So if you want players to run in behind, look no further than Rashford and Kane. That's Rashford and Sterling.
That's what I'm trying to say. But like,
I'd play them both. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. But when Sterling gets in them positions, he's not good enough. Maybe a Grealish might be better there or Sancho. That's what I'm trying to say. In them positions, if he gets in behind, you don't want Sterling there. I'm telling you now. You do not want Sterling one-on-one with the keeper. Maybe you got different options. Maybe Grealish or Sancho or something. But Sterling, you do not want one-on-one with the keeper because he's not scoring.
I think as well it's scenario. So England play Scotland. You probably say, Sterling, you start because you're gonna create more chances, as in you're gonna get more chances to score. We'll take you. But you play a team like France, you only get one chance. You probably don't have Sterling because you need that person to put that one chance away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Fair enough. So in this England squad, guys, in this England squad, how many world-class guys do you think they are? Luke?
Kane is one.
Yeah.
That's it. I'd say Kane. I'd say Kane. Kane. That's it for me, really. For world class.
Tough one.
To walk into every single team in the world, Harry Kane. Other than that, I don't think they do.
Shaun, what do you reckon?
That's probably right, to be quite honest. I'm trying to think of other positions where our position, like the players, are as good as anybody in the world. It's a
fantastic players. Then you go Foden, Grealish, Sancho, Mount, Rice, Phillips. Like, do you know what I mean? You can, as in really good players, but world class, the best in the world. I'm saying Harry Kane. That's it.
All right, okay. Then. Who's got potential to be world class in that team? Then.
Well, I feel like Trent was world class, and then he's not now.
Yeah, he's gone down a bit.
Trent was world class. Potential.
Do you lose it though, or is it like they say, form, minute, temporary?
Form. The whole team dropped. So it's just it's just a.
But then if you're world class,
That
do
shouldn't happen.
you ever lose it? Because Harry Kane, I've never seen I've never lost
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Do you ever lose that world class? How can you go from world class to like?
Yeah.
I know it was age or something. Then like if you're 30 odd, then you go down. But look at Messi, Ronaldo. They're getting on with age, but they're still world class. Like
That's
so.
fine,
Okay, this is going to sound ridiculous. Would you have said before Henderson was world class before he got injured?
I won't say he's world class, like Luke said. I put him in the bracket of like a good player.
Very good player.
I won't class him as world class. Like, look at people in his position who are better, like Tony Cruz and stuff like that, all around the world. Like, them guys are world class.
What about right backs though? Because I have to say, must have one of the best. If you look at all the right backs we must have the best right back in the world. One of them has to be the best right back in the world, surely.
Who would you take? If you could take two right backs, who would you take?
Well, okay. First thing, what are you counting Walker as? Because obviously he can do both, which I think is. That's unbelievable.
I'm playing at the three at the back.
Yeah, because I'll be honest. For Walker, I think he's a. If anyone was also gonna, I know he got, for me, he's gone under the radar. He never gets talked about, but this guy does a solid job. He goes under the radar, and I think he goes about his job and just does his business.
Oh, Walker.
Yeah,
but he makes mistakes though.
Do you know what gets him
he ain't the only one though. He ain't the only one that makes mistakes.
No, I'm saying that. But I'm not.
He just goes under the radar.
That's
and
what I'm
does a solid job. Yeah, I agree. But he goes under the radar and does a solid job. You know.
Sean, the only thing what gets Walker out of his trouble is his pace. If he didn't have that, he'd be awful.
Yeah.
It's his pace what gets him out of trouble.
He does make a lot of mistakes.
He's too lazy on the ball. Like, he gives it away too much. But because
you remember Tunisia?
Yeah. Wait, I don't know. He's got the pace to recover. That's all he's got going for him, Walker, the pace.
But he's one of the most experienced players we have, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I get that. But it's his pace what gets him out of trouble. It's not his. That's all it is. That's all he's good for, his pace, because he don't offer nothing going forward. Really, he can't cross a ball.
Yeah, but the right backs, who do you take though? Like, I think Trent will have to go, and it's just a toss of a coin between Wan-Bissaka and Reece James.
What about Trippier?
Huh?
What about Trippier?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, Trippier. What are you going to take out of the three?
What about Luke Ayling? Get him mentioned.
Like I said, top right backs. No, but yeah, who would you take? Probably, if Atletico Madrid actually go on to actually win the league, I don't know.
What about Leicester's James Justin?
He's injured, isn't he?
Yeah, but I was saying if he were injured, would he?
If he were injured, 100%. Yeah, I think he's brilliant.
Him and Trent, the two most coming, aren't they?
Yeah, it's such a tough. Probably Reece James, I think.
Wan-Bissaka's good, but he don't offer nothing going forward like Walker. So why would you take both of them? Like, it's either one or the other. Like, they're both terrible at going forward, but they've both got recovery.
Or do you just play? Or do you bring them two, and then you also bring Saka as a spare, also because Saka is very versatile. Because Saka can play left or right.
But there you got Shaw and Chilwell.
Well, yeah, I guess, but it's a weird one because Chilwell, obviously he's going to go, but he ain't been playing much.
I don't think he does go.
He's been getting dropped.
Will you not take Chilwell?
No,
I think you have to.
I thought it was Paul when he played, and he's not playing enough for Chelsea, and Alonso's taking him out of the team, and for me, he didn't go.
Okay, who would you take instead?
You have to
Luke Shaw goes, and Saka.
Saka, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but then the problem is if England mess up and someone like Shaw gets injured, they're gonna be like, well, why would you not bring?
To be fair, when we do get onto 23-man squad, we'll look at it. But I really struggled to get everyone in when I did mine.
Yeah. I've been doing that like a few times. My cousin was always like naming about 100 strikers. This is crazy.
So
I had one left back, and then I had like 3 strikers, and it was just midfield. The midfield.
But then we've got all this. Then you got to think, Southgate's boys. So you got to put his boys in, then work around.
No, it's a tough. It's very tough. It's
What do you want to do? 23-man squad now?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, let's do it.
Right, let's go goalkeepers then. Who's your goalkeepers?
Is it 3?
You have to take 3. Yeah.
Right. Who's going first? over to.
All right, cool. Pope, Pickford, and Henderson. Is this hold up? But the thing is, are we based it on right now? In terms of
who you take right now? Yeah, who do you go
who
right
take
now?
right now?
Well,
Yeah,
Pickford's injured, isn't it?
No, but no injuries.
All right, cool.
Thing.
Pope, Pickford, and Henderson.
I agree with that. I'd take the same.
Whoever starts is debatable.
I would take Pope, Henderson, and Johnson from West Brom.
What you got against Pickford?
That's what I mean. Like Pickford and Pope are the same. Like they both can't kick properly at the back. So, but I think Pope's more consistent than Pickford. I think Pickford's prone to make mistakes more.
It's true, but he had a good World Cup. The only reason I'd bring him
that was 3 years ago.
I know, but on experience, just on experience, That's like even if he's not playing, just to have him there as a guidance and experience to the others that have not played in that kind of pressure and have been there. I think he's not a bad keeper to take. I'm gutted. So I'll be honest with you. I'm gutted that Tom Heaton is not playing because I feel like if it's the fact because Martinez is in goal for Villa. If he weren't in goal and Heaton was playing, Heaton would definitely get in my team. But it's the fact he's not playing. So that's why he's not in. I'm just saying, Burnley are two solid keepers. So, how many have you got in defence? This is going to be tricky. Go on, Luke. What you got for, mate?
So I'd go Pope, Pickford, and Henderson. I think Pickford's better with his feet than Pope, but I don't think I'm not saying he's good. I'm just saying he's better than a bad situation. But yeah, I agree with Riccardo. Pickford does make a lot of mistakes, and the World Cup was 3 years ago, so we can't judge him on the World Cup 3 years ago. And he's struggling to get into the Everton team now. Like the Dutch lads getting it in ahead of him.
Also,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I think Pope is a better shot stopper. I think Pope is the best shot stopper out of the three.
It depends on the play, and that's what we mean. It depends on the play. If you're passing from at the back, then I probably wouldn't go Pope because he can't do it. But then, if you're playing a France and you're getting pegged in and then just going to keep battering you, then I'd probably say Pope's probably a good shout. Because he'd keep in the game, wouldn't he?
But you don't want to keep changing your keeper. You don't want to keep changing your keeper, like rotating. That's just going to mess up.
Oh, yeah, no. Out of them three, I prefer Pope.
Out of them three, would you start Pope, Luke? Yeah.
I prefer him. But the way that Southgate plays.
Pope, yeah.
Okay.
I know Henderson ain't getting a mention. Bear in mind, he's playing hot lately to keep De Gea out of the team.
I would play Pope. I would play Pope.
Yeah. But again, I don't think it suits his Southgate system. But he's the best. He's the best out of them three for me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And if you look at club level, he probably makes the most saves out of the whole lot as well. And really, I know goalkeepers have evolved and they have to play out from the back now. But their number one priority is saving the ball from going in the back of the net, and he does it better out of the three, I think. So that's my case for him. But yeah.
Right. What do you think about? Sorry, Luke. What do you think about this playing out for the back? Are you old school, like just clear your lines, or do you think, let's play out from the back?
I like the playing out from the back.
Do you like
I'm a Leeds fan, and I love Bielsa, and it's Bielsa way, so I'm loyal to him.
But sometimes just think, just hit it out. If in doubt, just hit it out.
Yeah. I mean, me and my dad were watching the Leeds game today, and he said exactly the same. He's old school. He said exactly the same thing. And because Leeds had the ball, and they went all the way back to the keeper, and then rebuilt, and then they lost the ball like straight away. And my dad were like, "What was the point in that? They may as well just booted it out." Like, do you know what I mean? And,
that's what I mean. You have an old school, or you know what I mean? It's either one or the other.
Or if you are going to whack the ball forward, try and pick somebody particular out. Like if you can, try and pick somebody out. I think that's why I like Edison. He pings the ball, for example, 50 yards, but he'll pick somebody out. I think that, like, if you're playing against like a top team like France or all that, sometimes you're going to have to hit it long and just try and beat the press, because a lot of those top teams are going to press you. So maybe one looking up and pinging a ball 30, 40 yards, 50 yards, beat the whole press. Sometimes you're going to have to do it. And plus, we look at the pace we've got going in behind, so why not? But, yeah.
Right, defence, what are you saying?
How many you got to choose from, though?
How many you want?
Oh, don't do that.
I'd say two left back, two right backs, and then like 4 or 5 centre halves there normally.
Oh, cool. All right. 2 left backs. Shaw, and I can't believe I'm going to do this. Chilwell. I'll have to take 2 left backs. I'm also thinking of the media scrutiny that's going to happen if you don't take another left back and end up with playing somebody else. And be like, oh, why don't you take another left back? Yeah, can't deal with that. Centre halves, Cody, Maguire. Yeah, Cody, Maguire, Stones, and Walker. Right backs, Sterling and
Still.
oh, sorry, Trent. Sorry, chat about one time. That's one for the blooper reel. Trent and Reece James. What are you going for, Rick?
Well, left backs, I would choose Shaw and Chilwell. Centre backs, I would choose Maguire, Stones, Konsa, and Mings. I think Konsa's been really good for Villa. I think that's a good shout.
He's gone under the radar, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mentioned him last time, to be fair.
Did you? And right backs, I'll take Kyle Walker and I'll take Trent.
That sounds so much better than what I just said. That just makes so much more sense to me.
No, I just put Konsa in because I think for Villa, I know they're gone on the radar, but I think he's shined. Like him and Mings have had a good partnership in that with Target.
That's true.
That's another one that's not been mentioned as well, Target. I think he's had a really good season.
He's had a very good season, I agree. What about you, Luke?
Left back, Shaw, and I'd probably go Saka, to be fair, for left backs. Right backs, I'd go Walker and Trent. And then centre backs, Maguire, Stones, Cody and Mings.
Okay.
That brings us up to 11 altogether. So we still have 11 left, which is good because it's going to be stressful.
This is the hardest bit. This is what I found really tough.
I know, yeah.
Midfield.
Go on, Sean.
Okay. I've got Rice, Phillips, Mount, Maddison, Grealish, and Saka.
No Henderson.
No.
You traitor.
I don't think he's gonna fitness wise and all that. I just don't think he's gonna be able to make it. So I just don't think he's gonna. I would love to have him in there, but I just don't think he's gonna be fitness wise to make it. So that's the why Phillips is in. I think Maddison has to get in. Surely I know he's come back from injury, but I think he's been pretty good for Leicester. So that makes this front 5 even harder. Now that I've just said that, because now I feel bad not putting Harvey Barnes in. So
that's what I mean. It gets really hard now.
What are you going for, Rick?
I go for Mount, Rice. I would have to put Maddison in there.
Yeah.
I'm taking Harvey Barnes, me. I'm
Okay.
taking see, maybe I'll take Hendo.
Okay.
Just for the experience in the dressing room, and Saka.
It's so hard, isn't it? It's so hard.
Right, how many were allowed for midfield?
6.
Six.
What do you want? 6 or 4?
Right, Grealish. I'm probably on my phone, so I'm going to get Mount, Phillips. Foden.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
Rice.
Yeah.
I'm only like one more.
What's up to you? No, you have as many midfielders as you want. You just got less forwards.
We don't need forwards. We got Kane. We'll just have Kane. He'll be right. And then Is it Sancho yet?
Say that again?
Sancho, you didn't name yet, huh?
Yeah, he's like a number 10 or like he plays wide in the front three, but yeah, he can play that, I guess.
Madison, I've got Madison, and then I quite like Lingard, so I'm going to go Lingard.
Okay, that's 8. Fair play.
I've got 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah. Like strikers.
Okay. Kane, Sterling, Rashford, Foden, and oh wow, this is very tough. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Calvert-Lewin, which means I'm not taking Sancho because he's not had a good season. And also the reason I take Calvert-Lewin, I understand him and Kane are quite similar, but if push comes to shove, I could always just put Rashford up front and mix it around. So I'll go with those 5. But even though it's very, very difficult. What do you got, Rick? That's so hard.
I'll obviously Kane, Sterling, Rashford, Sancho, and Foden.
No Calvert-Lewin.
Nah, I just think because you got Kane now, like you could put Rashford up front or Foden could play the false 9 and stuff. I think England have got options up there. Don't think we need Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
No, Luke, I know what you're going to say. You are 100% going to say Bamford, aren't you?
First one, Bamford. No, I think Kane, Rashford. Well, I've only got 3, so Kane, Rashford, and Sterling for me. I had more midfield, didn't I? But I don't think he will do that though. I think he'll definitely take Calvert-Lewin, 100%.
He's going to take his boys as well. We didn't add his boys in there, like Dyer and stuff. He's going to definitely take them. 100%.
But you see, defensively, when I look back and I look at I was looking at Burnley. You think your players like Michael Keane aren't going to get in. You got Tarkowski, Ben Mee, players like that ain't going to get in
because they play for Burnley.
Yeah,
that's a harsh word about it. No disrespect to Burnley, but they get overlooked because they play for them teams. If they're just playing for a top 4 team, they'll walk in. It's because they play for Burnley.
So tough. I
do think he likes Leeds because he's getting a lot. I know Phillips in his team, but a lot of Leeds players are now getting, like saying Bamford, Ayling. They were rumoured to get called up, and I think he goes to watch them a lot. So I think he likes Leeds because I don't think Ayling's good enough for the England squad at all. Even though I like him, I don't think he's good enough. But he's got like you say, the boys he likes, the teams he likes. He's
gonna like Watkins as well. Do you know why? He's a Villa boy. He used to play for Villa, Southgate. He's got a soft spot for them. That's why Watkins went over Bamford.
Yeah.
If Southgate played for Leeds, Bamford would have went. It's because he's got connections with Villa. I think I think.
That's a disappointing thing.
Point though. That one is a toss of a coin. I think.
I think that's the disappointing thing about Southgate this time is the last World Cup. It was like the team was on form. Like all the players he picked were on form. He changed the formation. It was like a few players you were like, oh, I didn't expect them to like go and stuff like that. But this year, it just feels like you all like his boys are going to go like Eric Dyer's going, even though he's
100% going. He's 100% going. He can score 550 on goals, get a red card. He's still going.
Yeah.
That's true. It's fascinating. Do you know what? I know this is slightly off topic, but in the same thing, there's certain players that maybe had good starts to the season, which maybe had injuries or whatever, and I feel so bad for them that they aren't going to get a chance now because they're just done. Like you remember Lamptey that played for Brighton? He started off so well, and he got himself injured, and I felt really bad for him because he probably would have been. He's another right back, so he would have had a shot, you know. It's fascinating, you know. I'm not like players like, for all we know, somebody like maybe Lewis Dunk, he might get in because I'm sure he's going to England squads before. So it depends on the injuries as well. Who comes in, you know. I think that's also a big factor. So I don't know. It's a tough one.
Do you want to mention under-21s?
Oh yeah, that debacle. Absolutely shocking. Getting beat. Well, Portugal, I guess Portugal got some good young players coming through. Fair enough. But I was watching their first game against Switzerland, and Switzerland just parked the bus somewhere. I know they've played more matches than England under 21s by quite a lot. But England should have really just put them to bed. They should really have beaten them. If you look at AD Boothroyd, so he might get sacked. He actually probably should get sacked for the team that he has, and the fact that if you look at a lot of the England under 21 squad, a lot of them are either in the first team or actually playing first team Premier League football. You got Hudson-Odoi playing, you got McNeil, you got Curtis Jones playing, you got Nketiah. I know he's not playing, but he's on the bench. But you got a lot of talent. Godfrey Davis, you got tons of players. How they can't even get out of the group, I think it's a disgrace. I think that's shocking.
It's like 5 out of 6 tournaments, something, and not got out of the group.
Yeah, that's shocking. But for the players you have, especially actually playing, most of them are actually playing first team. Eze's there, he's on the bench. Like you got quality players. I was very disappointed. Very disappointed.
But, are they really quality though? Like Eze for Palace does it 1 every 10 games. They're not consistent enough for that. The club. Curtis Jones was not there today to be seen. They don't play all the time. I think these players think they're better than what they are because they play with these foreign players next to them and that. These under 21s are good on paper, but in real, they're not as good as they think they are. Like Eze, what did he do for Palace? Except score that 1 goal like 10 games ago or something. What does he physically do?
True.
Like, there's too many people there resting on the laurels thinking, oh, look, because I play for this team, I should automatically think we win. They're going with the wrong attitude. Like, I don't think the attitude's right for under 21s. And there we go again about managers. This manager cannot motivate them. Who's this AD Boothroyd? I'm sure he's a Watford reject or something.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, why don't they get someone like Lampard in or someone who's been in that experience and knows like shake these players up? Not AD Boothroyd. He's just resting on his laurels. Like this team, like that under 21 team, like Nketiah, the captain, he don't even kick a ball for Arsenal.
I know.
Like, how do you justify that? How can you make someone a captain who doesn't even play for Arsenal? When's the last time he kicked a ball for Arsenal?
I can't remember. But isn't that the same thing we were saying about Southgate though before about picking players not on form or not actually playing? Isn't that exactly the same thing?
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's what Luke said. Luke hit it spot on with last tournament. Southgate picked players who were actually doing good for the clubs, and I was like, hold on a minute, a manager's actually not picking the Rooneys, your Lampards, and Gerrard who would always play. Not saying them because they're retired, but like, no managers before that would play them no matter how much those couldn't play together. They always had that Lampard and Rooney and all that. But with Southgate come and he changed it. Luke was right. He actually changed it. I thought, wow, he knows what he's doing. Now he's gone back to that boring style where I don't know if he's picking the team or someone's picking it for him, but they've gone back to that selection where he just got his favourites. And Luke was right.
But they were hungry as well. Like they were hungry. Like, do you know what I mean? They came out fighting, and I know we beat teams that we were supposed to beat, but there was a bit of excitement about them. But this time around, it just feels a bit like the 2 defensive midfielders and stuff, and it just feels a bit flat. Do you know what I mean?
Like the under 21s, like I feel sorry for like the players like Foden, like and all that should go there first, then work the way up to there. Look, it won the under 17 World Cup for England. You've done well. That's how you make your name for yourself. But Foden and all that should be playing for the under 21s, not against San Marinos and stuff like that. You don't need them against San Marino. England, this is a tournament. This like a proper tournament for the England stars. You should play your best players. No part having Bellingham in the England proper squad and that. And not even putting Trent in the under 21s at least or something like that to get him some game time. Do you know what I mean? At least put him in the under 21. They need it more. That's a tournament.
Yeah, but then
other countries would have let them players go. Like England, no disrespect to San Marino, but Championship players could have beat them. What level of San Marino? They think they're like conference players, really, if anything. So we didn't have to take all them players just to sit on the bench. He could have let the under 21s have him in that tournament, really. They could have had better strikers than Nketiah.
But Greenwood was injured because Greenwood was going to play.
But there must be someone better than Nketiah. Tell me, there's got to be.
But that's the thing, though. Who else? But that's the thing. Okay, apart from maybe Greenwood, probably plays the most out of all the probably under 21 strikers. Apart from Brewster, Brewster probably would have played. How old is Tammy Abraham? Maybe, but he's not playing either.
Now. I think he's at 24.
Oh, well, he's alright. He can't play for them. But
Brewster's another one. Like, Brewster, like
he's playing though.
He can't score. That's what I mean. He can't score. What's he good at? If his job's as goal scorer, he's not doing that. What's he good at?
No, I know what you mean, but I'm just saying, like as much as he's still young, if you're talking about based on people actually playing, he's actually played more than probably Nketiah recently, so probably he should be starting.
But you can't just because he's playing and not scoring. Anyone can play.
They're both
Yeah, but we're not based. Yeah, but you're based. I know you're based. We're picking a team based, not trying to pick the team based on form. But if you're not playing, why should you play? If you're not playing, he's not playing. Who else has the under 21s got that's going to play up front? We don't. What options have we got?
True, but like to make him captain, though, that's a bit ridiculous.
No, but I think he's been captain for a while though. I think he took over from probably Ward-Prowse or something like that because he'd been the captain. Ward-Prowse was the captain for a while before making the step up. But no, but my point before was just like with the England under 21s team, the reason I expected more is because a lot more. If you look at maybe previous under 21s teams, a lot of the previous under 21s teams, the players weren't actually playing first team football that much. Even in the Premier League, a lot of them probably were playing lower division football and probably not actually playing Premier League standard of football consistently. But a lot more of them are actually doing that. And that's why I'm even more disappointed, really, because it's just disappointing. I expect more from a lot of them. But I guess, you're not playing any warm-up games. You're going straight into a tournament. But then all the other countries are doing exactly the same thing. So
Sancho could have played, Foden could have played, and he could have took all them just to get him through. Just to get him through. Because you don't need them against San Marino and Albania and that. You don't need them. You're not going to miss them.
It's true.
You still got players in the big squad what can deal with that. Like then under 21s. Like let them have the best players. Let this Boothroyd manager let him have all the best players, and there's no excuse then when they didn't get through. Now he's gonna moan and say, well, I didn't have Tom, Dick, Harry and all that, because that's what he's gonna moan at. But if he's got all the best, he can't complain.
But do you think that having said that though, I reckon the reason Foden and that played in the first team as well is because how many real warm-up matches are they going to consistently have before playing in the actual tournament? So you might as well try and get as most of the first team together now and have them to try and get some consistent games in now for when they get to the first team. Because, you know what I mean? Because at least for Foden and I know it's against rubbish opposition or whatever, but you've got them playing consistently together with each other. And that team that they played against, maybe San Marino or Poland or whatever, those might be the team. That might be the team that starts in the Euros. So having them consistently play together, even if it's 3 matches, that's better than maybe Foden going down to the under 21s and then having to come back in later on when he's not been in there from the outset. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess
that's an idea.
But then what England under 21 were playing weren't friendlies. That was a proper tournament. So you want your best players in them tournament. You're representing the nation. You want England to do well. You get the best players in. You get your best players in, and then you do what you do after that. But you get your best players in for tournaments. I'm sorry. That's how they build up the confidence. That's how they get used to winning. You don't throw them in the deep end in the big international stage first. They look lost. I reckon you build them through, and then they get that experience of international level and playing abroad, playing with people speaking different languages and all that, don't understand what they're saying, different techniques, different pitches, and then you throw them into the deep end. You look at all the successful teams like Germany, Spain and all that, they all come from the under 21s mostly. They all had a gel and come from there. They got that core. And Spain would play all the best players in the 21. Italy, France, Germany, they will let them go to these tournaments before then they'll put them back into the international team to help them out.
No, it's true. No, it's fair point.
I think it's a player and management thing as well, because I think if you look at like, let's say, for example, Bellingham or Foden, you say to them, right, you're going to go to the under-21s for that tournament instead of going in the England squad. They could be like, well, that ain't fair. Like, I want to be in the England squad. I want to go to the Euros. Do you know what I mean? But then turn it onto another foot. You go to the under-21s. You win that tournament. You become the best player. You're in the England squad. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. And I think it's a management thing where they've not. I think the rumblings that you're getting from the under-21 camp are Boothroyd did not handle the situation at all, and that you had a lot of prima donnas there that don't want to be there and didn't turn up because they don't want to be there. But if they twist on the other foot and go, look, you perform in this tournament, you're going to the Euros, sure, a lot more would have gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, Boothroyd was not the right man for the job anyway. But I think they need, like Riccardo said, they need a bit of a character in there. They need someone who can handle these like prima donnas. Say, no, you're doing this, and if you do this, you'll get into the squad and do it that way. Michael Owen dropped into the under-21s. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Robbie Fowler dropped into the under-21s. Alan Shearer played for the under-21s. All these top strikers play for the under-21s and all these top players. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's definitely another yes man though. Do you know what I mean? Boothroyd. Like you say, not a big manager, not a well-known household name. A yes man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
The question is, who do you bring in?
I think bring Lampard in me.
Yeah, I think Lampard would be a good shout.
No, it's a good shout.
Dealt with youngsters. He's young. He's hungry.
Yeah, Englishman himself, like proper knows how it is in the England camp as well. Aidy Boothroyd's never played for England, has he?
No.
Has he? Like he wouldn't know. Like Lampard would know. Like youngsters, he's been there once and how hungry they are, and he'll keep them leveled out. He'll have a word with him, say, look, and he can. They respect him more because he's won stuff. They've seen it. Aidy Boothroyd, what's he won?
I mean, Watford did beat Leeds at playoffs.
2006.
I was there that day as well. I cried.
Yeah, so he's masterminded a victory over Leeds, did he?
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Blackwell were in charge, so it don't really count. But
I thought
it was Dave Hopper Day.
No. That's another time. That's another story.
No, that's fair enough.
So that's our 23-man squad. Do you reckon it'll change much before?
It depends on injuries, on who comes back. Because, like, you know, that's what it all depends on. Because, like I said, any given day, somebody could just go down injured and they're done. So it's just, for me, they just need to get as much rest as possible, you know, and try and get fit. Because I think we've got quite a few injuries. Like I said, Sancho's injured right now. Rashford is also injured right now. So we just need to get these. Obviously, Henderson's injured. You know, but we need to get these players fit and back. So they need to have a strong end to the season, getting them back into full fitness and ready to go. But that's my last take on that. What about you, Rick?
Yeah, I think so. But like, would Southgate save Sterling or Rashford? Say they both scored loads of goals at the end of the season, like, and they're both on form. And that, who would he start? Like, has he got his favorite? Do you think Sterling's his favourite?
He started, yeah. I think he's
Sterling starts
first on the team sheet.
I think
he's one of the first on the team sheet. Just behind Kane.
Kane, Sterling, like they're the starters. Who would you have as captain?
Well, Kane. Best player.
Yeah. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Maguire or someone at the back? Like,
see, that's a tricky one because I personally,
Maguire's a leader.
I don't think the media would let him. To be honest,
no. What?
I think the media would. I think the media would kill him.
What if he won the Euro? What if he won the Europa League with United and they finished second and he's the cap? I mean, and he was doing good to United at the end of the season. If he won the Europa League and he dragged them, do you know what I mean, second. True. And he scored quite a few goals, like he did score for England today. What if he did that to the end of the season? Would you give him a chance at captain, or would it still be Kane?
I'd still choose Kane. I'd still choose Kane, but I think the media have got a bit of a tag with Maguire, and I don't think. Do you know what I mean? With him being £80 million, if he makes a mistake, everybody knows about it. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think they would.
What is it? Is it his 80 million tag or what he did in Greece? What makes him?
I was
8 million
thinking that.
tag. I think 8 million tag.
Yeah,
Oh.
fair enough.
What about Walker though? Just based on full experience. I'm just saying he's one of the most experienced players. He's probably got the most. He's somebody that's probably got one of the most caps in the whole team.
I think he's there on merit, me, because what City are doing. So you're telling me
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's gone under the radar. He's done all right.
If City were where Liverpool are, and he was playing as bad as Trent, he was still taking because Walker's one of his boys.
Yeah.
Walker can.
For chances created, I don't think Walker creates that much.
He don't cross. He doesn't. He's good. He's fast. I get that. He's fast, but apart from that, he's awful.
But if you look at this season, he'll probably play one of the centre halves. But apart from Stones, no, I don't think anybody else has been absolutely fully convincing playing centre half. I'm not saying they're not good centre backs; they are.
What English?
I don't think anyone else has been overly convincing at centre half apart from Stones this season.
Hold on, that's a tough one. That
apart from Stones,
every centre half makes a mistake. You can't.
Yeah.
Oh no, I agree. No.
But I think Mings has had a fantastic season. Connor Cody's had a fantastic season. Do you know what I mean?
I think they have. I think
they've been decent. But then it's hard for me to say Walker can't be up there then.
Yeah, Walker's had a good season, but I don't think for me he makes far too many mistakes.
He does.
And I mean, if you compare him to Trent, who we've dropped, I think Trent creates a lot more chances, and the reason we dropped him is because he's not creating anything at all.
Oh no, I agree on that. I think I agree on that. I can't disagree with that.
Trent's good at dead ball situations as well. He can cross a ball, Trent. Dead ball, live ball. Trent gives you that more dynamic. And if that's the way Southgate wants to play, it's got to be that.
That's why I kind of feel a bit sorry for Ward-Prowse not getting in, because if I ain't Trent taking free kicks, that's the guy I would want on my set pieces. Because
but there again, I won't take Ward-Prowse. He won't get anywhere near that team.
No,
he won't get anywhere near that team. He's not good enough. Sorry, just because you're good at free kicks doesn't warrant that you go with that England team or any team.
No, I totally agree. I agree. Yeah. But I'm just saying, he's one of the best that we have. Maddison's good, but I think Maddison deserves to be in.
What has Ward-Prowse actually done for Southampton this season? Except score free kicks. How many goals? It'd be interesting to see how many goals he scored. What are not set piece, or how many assists he's got. I was surprised that Ward-Prowse actually got in that team because Southampton have not been that good, really.
No, I mean, terrible.
He's not been their standout player, if it has, because he scores one free kick every so often, which, don't get me wrong, the crackers, the 30-yarders, but that don't make you, get in the team. That's wrong, that.
That's true. No, I don't disagree on that.
Is there any players that you think, if they hit form towards the end of the season, that they might get into the team?
Well, see, it depends on the striker. The Calvert-Lewin one for me it could be between him, Bamford, and Watkins. One of the three. I'm not saying they're going to play, but one of the three could make the squad.
But I think Watkins is going, like I said before, Kate Southgate's still a connection. That's the only reason I think Watkins is going. That's the only reason I would have picked him over Bamford. But to me, I think Bamford deserves a chance. His first season in the Premiership, Watkins, but Bamford's got a good left foot. And he gives something new. He can run down the wing channels as well, getting behind that way sometimes. But Bamford, I'll give him a try. What have you got to lose?
That's true.
I was disappointed with Calvert-Lewin. I was really disappointed with him.
He's dropped off a lot. He started the season on fire, and he's kind of just Everton have fallen off a cliff a little bit with him. It's kind of not good, but. I think I know it's unlucky for Bamford to not get an England squad then, but I think it was a toss of a coin. I think between Bamford and Watkins, and obviously Watkins ain't scored as many goals as Bamford. I hear that, but I just something about him. He's just everywhere.
That's where it comes to where I said it must be his Villa boy, because you look at statistics. If Southgate's looked at him, it must have weighed up who scored the most goals, who's been more consistent. It's got to be Bamford.
And what you said before, actually, about, the link-up play between players that know each other. If you've got him and Grealish in the team, they know each other. And they might link up well.
Watkins will never start to link up that much.
No, yeah. I mean, Watkins won't play. Watkins won't play in the Euros. Do you know what I mean?
No.
You're taking a body, aren't you?
Yeah.
And that's a problem. If Kane gets injured, you're done, really. Unless you change your formation, you're done.
Strikers, England can't replace him at the top there. I agree with you there, 100%.
Well, that's why I think he might just shove Rashford up front there instead.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same.
Rashford, like Sterling up there, like they've missed a lot, but he scores more than Sterling. But like they're both like one-on-ones are not good. Like Rashford's not a proper striker to me. He won't get you 20+ goals a season in the middle, not down the middle. No chance. He looks lost. He drifts wide. He's not that's why he don't play there for United. That's not his position at all.
Yeah.
And if you're going to start playing people out of positions, then England have got no chance of winning. I mean,
that's fascinating. Well, all we know is that clearly after this discussion, Southgate has got a real tough job on his hands picking 23 players for his squad. Never mind the starting 11. He's got a real tough job picking starting a 23-man squad now.
I know. Go on, Riccardo, you go first.
But the players don't just pick themselves.
All they're going to say, all they've got going for them is that you can have 5 subs in this tournament, can't you?
Yeah.
So that comes like a bonus, actually. Instead of 3, that extra 2 could, you need that goal, you might as well bring all the strikers on. 5 of them.
But yeah, all I'm going to say is, you said that he's got a bit of a headache. I don't think he does at all, because you look at the group that we've got, it's a group that you should easily go through. Do you know what I mean? You get through the group and then it's just one of them, isn't it? So, I don't...
Yeah, but you need to, and because this is England we're talking about, you can't just think, it's just going to be easy. Because you got to remember, as much as these other teams aren't going to be as good as us, potentially, they're going to put even more of 100% in against England. So anything.
I know, but the teams that we've got to play, like Scotland, they're not a team.
Don't look past.
But
don't look. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but just don't look past these teams, man. Because
I'm telling you now, right? If England don't beat Scotland, a team like Scotland, then Southgate needs to be sacked. Because England, look at the players that we're choosing for England. Like, no offense to Scotland, but they don't have them players. Like
I know what you're saying.
Shea Adams is nowhere near the England squad. No, but but you
can't look past teams.
I know, but I'm saying I know you can't look past teams, but if we can't beat a Scotland, then Southgate should not be in the job. That we should be beat. We've got like Jack Grealish, we've got Sterling, we've got Rashford, we've got Foden, we've got these players. Scotland would snap their hand off at any of our players.
Scotland's team's full of SPL players, Scottish Premier League players, Kilmarnocks and all them. And
no, but they've got Roberts.
Robertson's a good player.
They've got to be the best 2 left backs in the world.
Yeah, Tierney and Robertson, they're good players. But other than that, I mean, you're scraping the barrel, aren't you?
McTominay is not bad.
Who's that?
No, the one who plays in Villa. McGinn.
That Tommy will get nowhere near that England squad.
Yeah, but you take McGinn to England?
No, I wouldn't.
That's what I mean.
I'm just looking at the odd decent player they have.
That's what I mean. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just saying that England players from the pool of England players are a lot better than the pool of Scotland players.
Oh, 100%.
If England don't beat Scotland, then Southgate, you're sacked. Do you know what I mean? There's no.
You're not going to sack him during the tournament, are you?
No, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
You've got to be. It's like when we lost to Iceland. It's like Royalton, you sacked. You don't lose to these teams.
That's what I mean. We had to. That was a game we absolutely had to win, and we didn't. But I'm just not gonna. Due to past experiences of England's world tournaments, I'm not even gonna overlook some of these poorer teams, should I say? Now, obviously, I'd expect us to beat them, but don't get twisted. I'm not gonna overlook some of these other teams because they've messed up in the past. A lot of big teams have messed up in the past. So look at Germany. They didn't even get out of the World Cup group. Where was it? What was it? They didn't even get out of the World Cup group. You remember they got lost to South Korea?
Yeah,
so I'm not even going to look. Something like that happens. It's hard. I can't want to look past the first game, mate. Just take one game at a time. Get the job done. Don't just go. You never want them to go into a match their mentality with, oh yeah, we should win this, because that's when you get sloppy. Go in, just get the job done.
Get the job done, but they should be winning it though.
No, I totally agree. I don't disagree. They should be, but you know what I mean? I don't want to put too much pressure on these lot, man. Just go and do it.
Since I've been in nappies, football's been coming home, and it still hasn't come home.
I still think 2002 was our best chance, but
yeah, that was our best chance right now.
But yeah, come on, England.
Well, yeah, we'll win it, won't we?
Oh, mate, don't even go there, mate. Don't even go there, mate. Well, the semi-finals at Wembley. Let's at least make that, and we can discuss what happens from there.
I think after the first group game, I think it's a tough one. I think they've got a tough one after that. I think so. It's in Dublin. If you finish top of the group, it's in Dublin, but it's a hard one.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, we tend to go to Dublin and get the win against Ireland anyway, so everyone beats Ireland. I know it won't be Ireland, but everyone beats Ireland.
I've seen Ireland. This is the worst Ireland team I've seen for years. This is bad.
Oh yeah. Oh my days, they are bad.
Mate, Northern Ireland will beat these lot.
It's like they need Shane Long.
Mate, awful.
Mate, they've still got like players like McGoldrick and that. That's so awful they are, man. You've got players like McGoldrick and that. You can't win nothing with them guy. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. It's just,
if you remember that team in 2002 as well, that Ireland team in 2002. Robbie Keane, Ian Hart, Gary Kelly, Shea Given, unreal team. That team was just mental.
Back in the day, that was out of all the home nations. Like that's a team what could trouble England, like Ireland, like giving them the game.
They literally, Ireland could have literally won the World Cup that year. Yeah. They were that good. They lost to Spain on penalties.
Yeah. Do you know, like if they do a tournament like England, Scotland, Wales, you think Ireland would like compete with England more? Like, but now I think Wales will.
With Wales, yeah, got a good win against Czech Republic.
I don't know if Ireland, like, what the scouting thing is, but I think they've gone backwards, like.
Yeah.
No. Mate, they still got Seamus Coleman, innit? They're still relying on Seamus Coleman.
That's what I mean, like.
That's their best player.
I know, exactly. Like, where's the youth policy, like, where's the youth coming up, or no one's coming through, or, like.
Nothing got no more grassroots.
Or anything.
Apparently it's like, I watched the podcast on Top Sport about it, and they said that there's like no investment and stuff like that. That's why
it's got to be that. It's got to be that. It's got to be, because you can't have McGoldrick playing and stuff and expect to win stuff. No disrespect to him, but he is poor.
He's terrible.
He's terrible.
Man. But yeah, well, it happens. But Wales are doing all right. Like, given that, Wales aren't bad.
Bales. I call them Bales.
They do put a shift in, to be fair. The Wales do put a shift in, to be fair. And, you know, they've got, I guess a world-class player.
They're called Bales, not Wales. They're called Bales.
Bales.
Yeah, Bales.
But they've got other players that will just help chip in, though. They've got other little like players that will just chip in and do stuff for them. You know, the thing about Wales, they ain't got the greatest team, obviously, but they play with a lot of heart and desire.
I'll tell you, plays good for Wales, like Robson Canu as well.
Yeah,
his goal against Belgium in that Euros last year.
When he plays for West Brom, he's awful. He's not the same one. He's like a Messi for Wales.
I know.
They had a goalkeeper at that Euros. Didn't they have a goalkeeper as well? That unreal.
The Hennessy.
Oh no, was that Northern Ireland? Northern Ireland had a goalkeeper. It was like unreal. Remember McGivern or something? And he didn't even have a club. And he was like absolutely unreal. And then he got like snapped up by like a Prem club or something.
No, that's crazy.
But yeah. Come on, England. Forget the rest of them. Come on, England.
Well, thanks, Riccardo, for coming on for our England special. I hope you enjoyed it. So this is just going to be a special one that we've done. So this will be going out on Sunday. And then, when it's close to the Euros and stuff, we'll do a couple of more of these. And when he announces the England squad for the official Euros and stuff, we'll do like an announcement video and stuff and go through that. Might even do like a tour of celebrating England winning and stuff. Do some vlogging or something.
All right. I might, what about celebrate City's title win as well?
Well, y'all just do that. Yeah, but you guys must be getting bored of celebrating that. You've been winning it too often recently. You know what I mean? It's just It's beginning second nature.
Mathematically, Liverpool couldn't win it after tonight.
Oh,
No, we'll take the Champions League though. That's fine. That's fine.
I know, yeah. I said Liverpool Bayern Munich Champions League final. I do.
Mate, I'll be honest with you. I still think Bayern are favourites though. I have to say.
Oh, of course. The team's just amazing.
No Lewandowski, and they still go to Leipzig and win 1-0. So there you go.
Well, I'm happy. But Luke, before we go, what do you think about Chelsea today and how they got dismantled?
Right, I've told Sean this, but I'm going to tell you this now, right? So it's the first time I've had a bet in ages, right? First time I've had a bet in ages, right? Yeah. And I've done this Talk Sport selector. You have to pick one team to go through every round, and then you win like 25 grand. I thought, I fancy a bit of this. So I picked a team that have gone 9 games unbeaten, that have not conceded a goal at home and are playing a team in the relegation zone. Put me tenner on them, and they've lost. Like, what is that? What is
Chelsea?
That? What is that?
You must have cursed them up. 2 shows after you. He's after you.
You blame Thiago Silva, mate.
What do you think about them 2 yellow cards? Like, what was he doing?
No, I don't know. The most experienced person on the pitch, and it's just like...
Well, to be fair, they were given...
to my cousin, I said he'll struggle there. Do you know why? Because he's come from a league where he's had it easy over there. PSG was the best team over there. He's never come up against Mbappe and Neymar. He had them on his side. Now he's come up against guys like Vardy, De Bruyne, and he's with pace. And you get ripped up left, right, and centre. No matter how experienced you are, when you come to this league and it's faster, you need to get up to speed. Like Werner, to me, is good, but I think he needs bulking up. Werner to be in this league, he gets thrown about. He gets thrown about too much, don't you think?
Yeah. No, but the only thing is, like, you look at the only thing about Thiago Silva is if you actually see in the game, Chelsea just kept giving the ball away anyway. So
right. Can he
the defense have to make a decision. He made 2 fouls, but the Chelsea were giving the ball away before the ball even got to him. So that's why he eventually got sent off, because they were giving the ball away stupidly. So they were stopping.
I've said this, Chelsea, obviously, because they've got the new manager. It's called manager's bounce. You have that little run, don't you? You've got new manager, then you get done to earth. But that back four, that can't win you nothing, that back four, I'm telling you now.
They're poor. No.
It was Kurt Zuma. No, he was at Stoke not long ago. Azpilicueta, he's washed up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Thiago, he's got Azpilicueta and Thiago playing. How old are they combined?
No, we're at 60.
60, mate.
And they play like that.
Mate, their combined age is more than I've had roast dinners in my life.
Like, without Kante and Mount in that midfield, they are poor.
Yeah. Mount was on the bench.
Jorginho's poor. I'm sorry, Jorginho's not.
He just keeps it slow. That's it. And even when he's so slow, like the way he moves, right, is how he takes his penalties. That's the pace of slowness he goes. That's how slow he is.
I don't think he knows his best team. He don't know his best team too sure. I don't think you can fit Havertz, Ziyech, Werner in the same Mount in the same team. I don't think you can. I think it's not balanced. I think they'll have to go. I think they'll have to sell Havertz or something or Ziyech. I don't think he likes that Ziyech.
They put too much money. No, but he had to bring somebody off. In
general, I don't think he fits Chelsea. Do you know what? Like when a guy he doesn't look right, what's his position? What does he do?
He's just a winger, isn't he? He's like a winger striker. He's a front three guy. That's it.
Like I listened to TalkSport at the start of the season, just comparing him to like Mahrez and stuff. Like he's not fit to lace Mahrez's boots. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's disrespectful to like Mahrez. How can you say that? That's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
Right, just before we finish, I need to get this in there. Right, Tammy Abraham, we need this little debate. Right, I'm not saying I need to get this clear. Right, I'm not saying he should go to the Euros because obviously he's not playing stuff. But I do think he's a good striker, and I think any Premier League team will take him.
No.
I think, for free. You're telling me they won't take him for free.
No, he's a championship.
Well, on a free.
Yeah. Nah.
Well, is he better than Origi though?
If Aguero can't get on for us, how's Tammy Abraham?
Yeah, I'd take him at least 100%. I'd take him at least
over Bamford.
No, well, as a second striker, yeah, 100%.
Well, what if he says what if he says I want to come to Leeds, but I will come if I play week in, week out?
I'll say, well, you score every game then, and then I win the
To
debate
me,
because he scored
I
every
think-
game.
I think he's a championship striker. Me, I don't think he's Premiership quality. Me,
I think
he
he's
won't
a
get,
good striker.
he won't get you near 20 goals a season for Chelsea.
The problem is though, he don't play enough. So
That's
But
what
he's had his
don't
chances,
know.
though. He had his chance on the Lampard. He's had his chances, and he's got to be prolific. You got like he wasn't. I'll take Giroud. Give me Giroud. I'll take Giroud.
Yeah, like to me, Abraham is good, but I think he's championship. I think that's his level. I don't think. Maybe Chelsea's too like.
Yeah, I think if he goes down a peg,
Yeah,
I think he'd smash
yeah.
it like a Palace or something like that. I think he'd smash it.
Like a Lingard to West Ham, that's his level. That's Lingard's level because.
But look at Bamford. Like you wouldn't have said he was a. We're talking about him playing for England now. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he had to go down to come back.
Yeah. So I think So I do think he's a good striker, but I don't think he's ready for England.
You have your levels, don't you? Like,
Yeah.
if you play for one of the top teams, right? You're under pressure because you know you have to score. You can't go hiding. But for teams like West Ham and that, you're not expected to win all the time. So you can go missing in games, and you won't get. But when you go missing in big games,
get less chances. You get less chances in the Premier League as well. In the Championship, you get more chances. You can miss a couple. You can miss a few, but you know that you're going to get a couple more in that particular game, and then you probably score. But in Premier League, you might only get 1 or 2 chances if you're lucky, and you got to take them. You got to take one or the other. Your conversion rate's got to be better. So that's also the thing. You got to be more clinical. And I think that's the only thing for him. He's got to be more. If he's more clinical, then I think you got a point. But he's not clinical enough for me. So
do you know what? Nah. Do you know what? On a different topic, you know what's annoying me, right? I was in TalkSport the other day, and Darren Bent said Sergio Aguero's not in the top 5 Premiership strikers of all time. Before we go, guys, can we do our top 5 Premiership strikers of all time? Luke
Bamford.
Bamford. Viduka, Bamford. No, I'm joking. Top 5, Shearer.
Before you say it, do you agree with Darren Bent or not?
No, Aguero's on top. Yeah. Aguero for me is one of the greatest players ever played for City as well. Like,
yeah, 100%.
He changed City around. Do you know what I mean? Like, So Shearer, Henry.
Is this in order, or are you just saying them?
No, I'm just naming it. Yeah, I'm just naming them. Shearer, Henry, Aguero, Rooney, and Drogba.
Good shot. What about you, Sean?
You pretty much said my 5. Those are I couldn't put it any better than that. Drogba has to be in it, 100%. Rooney, ridiculous. Aguero, Henry, and Shearer. I don't know what order that would be in, but yeah.
I would have exactly the same. But here's one question: if you could have one of them in the prime to come back to your club Leeds, Luke, who would you have out of them 5 you mentioned in the prime? A young one of them, if they could respawn.
Oh, I'm going to be controversial with mine, I think.
I'm going to go Henry, just for the fact that I loved him as a kid. Like, he was, I just loved Henry, and just the style. I loved Henry's style, so I'll go Henry.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Shawnee?
I think I'm going to be so controversial with this one, because I was going to say Henry. I really was, but I'm going to go Drogba. And I'll tell you why, because when it comes to maybe cup finals and stuff like that, this brother was, when it really mattered in those cup finals, this guy would score you the goals that you need to get you over the line. When it comes to the important big games, you can put him up there by himself, but he'll get you a goal. So I'm basing it off who's going to score me the goals also in the very important points and important games. Drogba.
Yeah, but the problem is Liverpool won't get to a final for a while now, so that would be a bit of a waste.
Exactly. Drogba will get us there.
Go on, Riccardo, what are you saying?
I was thinking, like, if the game was played now, I would choose Aguero. Imagine a young 21-year-old Aguero didn't get injured. But I was thinking it was played like years ago. I would pick Shearer because the pace of the game would be slower. And Shearer, like nowadays, you need someone with pace. a bit of thingy. But I would choose Aguero. Well, that's close to Henry. I only chose Aguero over Henry because he played for City, and I've seen him live. I know what.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm being a bit biased. But if Henry played for City, I would have said Henry. So, but Aguero to me is one of the best.
Yeah.
Ever. And to stay at City for 10 years, I rate him for that, because he could have went to Barca years ago and probably won the Champions League with Messi, but he stayed, so I can't fault him now. Do you know what I mean? He's a legend to me. As long as he don't go and join United on a free or someone like that.
Chelsea drawn about.
Like,
I couldn't have that.
I
don't
know. Lampard joined us from and he scored and against them. I remember that. So it can happen in football. Look at Alan Smith. He went to United, didn't he, Luke?
Don't talk about that.
Exactly. See what I mean? Real Ferdinand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there you go. So it can happen. I'll be annoyed. Do you still forgive Alan Smith for that?
No.
That's what I mean.
I mean, I don't know if it's different because it's Man U and Leeds. I don't know if City, Chelsea is a little bit different. I don't know. But
no, but it's not that though. It's like I couldn't like.
No,
if you join United,
if you join, it's different level, isn't it? And that's like me with United.
Like, Sean, have you forgive Michael Owen yet or not?
No, you can kiss my ass. No, sorry.
Winning the league with United before he did reuse.
But he never won it with us. That makes it even worse. He never even won it with us. But it doesn't matter now. We've won it, so I'm happy about it now.
Not made it worse when he scored that 4-3 against City in the derby. Hit that big head of his wobble. I hate him.
Right, wrap it up. Not really good, to be fair, wasn't it? Yeah. I really enjoyed that, to be fair. So we'll definitely do another one when it's close to the Euros and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, click that notification button, and let us know if you like Riccardo, and we'll get him on again.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me, guys. Take care.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.